5 adventures here. Today we are installing rock sliders on our 200 series Land Cruiser. Here are the rock sliders down here. There's one of two, provided by White Knuckle Off-Road. Bought them bare metal, sanded them down, primed and painted them. Nothing crazy, nothing too detailed, just to get some color on them. We're going to be bashing them into rocks anyway. The instructions are actually well written. They're step-by-step with pictures, so it helps us slower folks get stuff done. There's certain tools that it requires, but these are the tools we actually used. It looks like a lot, but you're going to use one tool maybe a couple times. So we got the impact drill, we got the actual DeWalt drill with a step bit. That doesn't come in the instructions, but that helps. Several drill bits to make the holes bigger to get the actual bolts into the holes. A socket set, and then I set up these bolts the way they go on the vehicle on the slider. So in the front you got a 6.5 inch bolt, in the rear you got a 4.5 inch bolt. One of these plates has threads and one does not. Not threaded and threaded. These two self-tapping bolts that are together, which is a total of 6, go on the actual bottom of the slider, and those two 20mm bolts go in the side of the frame. We have the other sides finished. Take you around so you can take a look. We have the jack stands required, the jack. Got some shade out here. Down in Texas it gets pretty warm. My helpers, say hello. This is the slider installed on the driver's side. Couple tricks, actually not tricks, they're just tips. On the bottom of this slider, on the front, there's a 12mm bolt you have to remove. Right up there. It's a bear to get to, but you can get it. If I can get my fat body, as you were fat hands in there, and get it, you can get it. Yes, sir. Oh, we got a delivery. What's coming in today? Oh, the Max Tracks. Very cool. Just lay that down there. Ordered these the other day. This is the 2 of 4. Getting ready for a trip to go up to Colorado. I'm going to open these at a later date. More on those later. Back to the cruiser. That's the installed product. Very sturdy. We've already stood on it, pulled on it, yanked on it, put a jack stand on it. Very solid. So we'll keep you updated on the other side. Let you know how it goes. We got it in. On the jack stands. On the jack. Other jack stand. Okay, there's 2 bolts in here. One there. And one over there. Gotta get those in. Start centering stuff up. Mount it. Drilling holes in the frame. Using all that stuff. Alright, here's the final product. Got both sliders on. Had my twins put their skateboard tape so when we get in and out a little easier. On the installation, it's pretty clean. There's a bolt here. These 2 bolts go in there. These are the ones that are self-tapping. This is a 4.5 inch bolt that goes through to the plate that had a pretty much nut welded into it. Self-tapping. These are 17s. 17, 17, and there's 2 more self-tapping screws. These are 15s. And then here's the 6.5 inch bolt with a nut on the back. It's pretty tight back here. It goes through a plate and it attaches there. Just gonna watch where it touches. It's a 19. So those are 19s. These right here are 15s, self-tappers. These where you have to make actual threads for are 17s. And that back one is a 19 on both sides. I'm not going to say it was an easy install. It's a little time consuming drilling. Just make sure you have the right bits. But that's what it looks like in the end. We have more mods in the process. Today's adventure, after the rock slider install, is a Old Man Emu suspension lift. This Land Cruiser does not want to be modified. It's fought me the entire way. Got this side done so far. Sorry about the bad lighting. It's done for the most part. Just gonna put the splash shields back on. The driver's side's been done already. There's a couple tricks that are not in the book, or actually in the instructions that help out that I found for me, because I have bigger hands. Is you pull these splash shields off, and you can loosen that bolt pretty easy on the upper control arms. But to get that bolt out, it gets caught on hoses. It gets caught on a couple clamps inside the engine bay. So what I did was I came up here and I moved these out of the way here. So let me get a light so you can see. This hose is in the way of the bolt getting out. This hose is in the way of bolts getting out, and this hose is in the way. Right there, that one. Then you have to move these clamps over depending on where these clamps are at, because the bolt will catch right here on the passenger side. On the driver's side, I had to actually take out the battery because the upper control arm bolt would not come out without that. And this is in the way. So I moved that out of the way, got the bolt out, put the new upper control arm back in, put the bolt back in. I used a 22mm with an extension and a 1/2 inch ratchet to get it in there. So those are some tricks so far. The front end's done. Getting ready to work on the back end. I'll update you when I get a chance. It's just me today. Here are the SPC upper control arms and ball joints installed. Actually a very nice piece. That's the Zerk up top. Easy to grease that Zerk. Getting them in wasn't a problem. This bolt right here in the back that holds the actual control arm on was a bear to get out. You had to move some stuff, had to watch out for some wires, watch out for the actual lines going to the radiator up front. But all in all, it was a somewhat smooth install. There's the new spring and shock. Alright, well, she's done. Oh man, EMU lift installed with those little rock guards both sides. So in order to get these down, or get the original springs out, you gotta loosen the shocks, and then I was told not to loosen the sway bars, but I read you could. Then put the frame on jack stands, and then lower the axle down until the springs kind of just slide on out. You do have to watch out for brake line stretching and the diff breather, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. That side was pretty rough. I had to have my wife put a ratchet strap on it so she could pull it out when I actually had to get a pry bar underneath the spring and get it out. But as she sits a lot higher, looks pretty good now. Now I'm doing some slight painting for the different rims I'm putting on. Nothing crazy, just rattle can job. See if I can update you with some other stuff later on. Alright, here's the Land Cruiser a couple days after the install of the OME lift. Still sitting pretty high. Figured it would settle a little bit by now, but I guess that's where it is. It is what it is, right? Today we're on our way to go get some tires. Got some of these rims we took care of. Sanded them down, painted them off of Tundra. Center caps. Painted those two. Black will do. So, headed to the famous discount tire. See what they can do for me. Still a little up in the air about what tires to use, but we'll find out when we get there.